We'll see how they get their lane set up. Nefrit again on the Drow Ranger, though. Heading up to top, this time on the Dire side. As G, the Vengeful Spirit, going to be trying to support her up. Mid lane, Queen of Pain for Melojul, as they did shift things around. Usually, he's playing that Void Spirit, but Malik will be taking up that hero with Velior down south on the Wind Ranger. Ace again on the Void. Nothing changing there much. But the flex pick, you know, the panel touched on it. This Nature's Prophet for Chessie can go across multiple roles, as they don't give it to the POS 4 or the 3, this time heading into mid. Piledai Jakiro, Misery Phoenix, a couple of Flappy Dragons, going to be aiding out the rest of the squad. With so much team fight being piled into this Mars arena of blood, it is really difficult to see how EXTREMUM are going to be able to, you know, fight into or sustain through any of these 5v5 engagements.
Yeah, whenever I see Faceless Void, I want to have any kind of save. Wyvern, Shadow Demon, Venge. I love Venge. I love Venge Drow Ranger, but you need to have a good lineup built around it. They don't have the frontliners, so that's going to be a huge issue for EXTREMUM in this game. Like, you don't have that one guy who's going to run in, especially if you shut down Void Spirit. And I think for Void Spirit in this type of game, you need to rush Aghanim, because you need to be the crowd control with the AoE silence. And if that Aghanim gets delayed, then you're in a lot of trouble. And this is Nature's Prophet mid, so I don't think you're going to have a good time, which means that level 6 from Nature's Prophet will come online soon, and they can start playing aggressively on the side lanes. And he's going to build a faster Orchid. Like, I've seen Nature's Prophet getting 10, 11-minute Orchid if they're having a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Should have a cracking time. As Faceless Void, Ace, with a sneaky little play, did grab one of the Bounty Runes bottom, giving them the 3-for-1 for 5 men. As Malik was unable to land the Aether Remnant, Ace kind of just sidestepped it and made sure he was able to sneak out that third bounty. Piledai comes bottom. Safeguard the Void's farm in these early stages. But I think, as you're saying, that mid lane is going to be the real point of contest for both teams, and where most of the action is going to be coming from or going towards.
Oh,
so far, Queen of Pain 6-1.
This should not happen. Like, you have 2 Treants, you can be the one who's pushing out the lanes. You don't care too much about the harassment. But the Queen of Pain adjusted her skill build. She didn't put a point in Shadow Strike, so she just pushed away with Scream of Pain instead. It's in my book, I've seen it multiple times. It's still a Nature's Prophet favorite matchup.
Yeah, we'll see how Chessie comes back into this. A few struggles last hitting under tower, but he's got double circle and double null. Shouldn't be too worrisome for him, as he does start catching up a little bit in that laning stage. And top lane, G and Nefrit still trying to play forward here. Jibe dropping very low as the multi-shots come, but Misery with those fiery spirits able to hold them back a little bit, as G just keeps on going. Low armor Phoenix with that wave of terror on top of him, taking the brunt of the damage here just from the punches of the Venge.
This is something that teams are just abusing. You push the lane, you get level 2 faster, and you instantly start playing aggressive. You have an extra spell. Phoenix in a lot of trouble. There's no mana for multi-shot. If he had mana for multi-shot, maybe he could have reached Phoenix and just finish him off.
There's also no regen really here for the Mars or the Phoenix either, right? There's 1 Tango remaining, no salves. Jibe does get some more heal delivered, but it's a rough one as bottom lane. Piledai is found by Malik. Ace is going for a courier snipe. Velior doesn't have any spells to throw in just now. It looks like Void will just walk back with, again, his double rings of regen, keeping him topped up.
He also dropped all of the items, so Piledai will pick those up. You mentioned the 2 Ring of Regions for any kind of harassment, and this is exactly what I talked about. If EXTREMUM wants to win this game, they need to give Void Spirit a good lane. They need to have him get him a good start, and this is exactly what happened. He had the first blood. He's also level 3, and Windranger will get level 3 after the pull.
Yeah, having a great start. Got his urn queued up, 800 gold saved in the bank as well. As Piledai just keeps trying to spam them back, burn through that regen, and trade with this very aggressive offlane from EXTREMUM. TP back from the Prophet, get his double nulls, his boots, and he can TP back into mid lane. Straight in on top of the Queen of Pain, in fact. Still has that fountain regen going for a second or so. Melojul shifts back into 1 point of Shadow Strike, still maxing out the Scream.
Chess is catching up. He can also farm the side camp whenever he pushes the lane, and Melojul not even using Shadow Strike at all. You know, just wants to have mana to constantly spam Scream of Pain onto those treants, push the lane. Runes are spawning. You can see that no one wants to go for the rune, since, you know, Chessie doesn't really buy a bottle on the Nature's Prophet. At least he could have sent one treant, try to deny it.
Yeah, scout it, deny it, see what's going on. But it will be the refill there for Melojul. Things calm down a little bit now. Urn finished up for Malik. Does decide to get that, not going for a bottle or anything himself. As they keep that pressure onto Pile Die and Ace. It's a struggle there for the Faceless Void. Down to half HP. Kill threat is coming, but top lane, the dive forward from Misery. Trying to get the Fiery Spirits onto Nefrit. Don't think that Jibbe can really accomplish anything with the chase. G is able to keep them at bay. And Chessie also escaping from danger, as it looked like the Queen of Pain brought him close to death in that mid lane. Spear there. Jibbe trying to guard his bounty rune. Unfortunately, with a magic missile landing, there's no way he's going to be able to escape from that. Melojul makes short work of him.
So that's 1, 2, 3 for 1 bounties for 5 men. Like, even though they don't have a single kill, it's still 1k gold lead for them. Like, Chessie's catching up nicely, 14 denies. Once he hits level 6, they can start playing aggressively on the side lanes. You can see Malik, half HP, same goes for Windranger. They have some stick charges, but it's not gonna be enough. Nature's Prophet, if they have vision, he only needs 2 CS to actually get himself to level 6, and they should get at least 1 kill on the side lane.
Yeah, they're trying the hardest. I didn't realize Mars at 23 CS, you're mentioning these creep score values, and he's actually out farming the Drow Ranger. Vengeful Spirit has moved away from top lane, so no longer defending that Drow, but instead trying to play aggressively onto Chessie. Taking that pick off in mid, he throws out the Nature's Wrath, but it's the power shot from Velior that secures it, while G trapped inside those treants, and Misery's rotation does get a cross kill. But it is still a good little move there from EXTREMUM.
That's one way to counter Nature's Prophet. If he is not making any kind of rotations, also he's a very easy kill to get with no escape mechanism. Zibe on the top lane, playing aggressive. He's only level 4, you know, could use some extra solo XP if Phoenix is stacking the camps.
Looks like that's what Misery's contemplating doing. He's just gonna return back up to that top spot as the magic missile lands in onto the back of Jibbe. Frost Arrow slowing him down tremendously. The damage is enough from G.
And Misery is like, if I let him die, I'm gonna get all this solo XP.
But in comes Chessie, no stuns to stop the TP, and it looks like Misery is gonna get battled with G. Oh, the treants block him, and the Fiery Spirits make sure that the right clicks aren't fast enough. The Vengeful Spirit still making a pretty hasty retreat with the Windlace there. And Queen of Pain's arrival coming in, blinking back behind the Prophet. Yes, Chessie gets 1 kill. But does Melojul throw the Sonic Wave to secure this? He does indeed. Beautiful little move there. Melojul swiftly in from that mid lane, straight up towards top to find Chessie yet again.
Zibe, he needs levels. That's why he TP'd mid while all this action was happening. I mean, you can't say that some heroes are more level dependent. Like, let's say Phoenix, you definitely want to have any kind of levels XP available on that hero. And on the bottom lane, Faceless Void getting closer to level 6, Mask of Madness done. So once he gets that level 6, they can just start playing aggressively on Faceless Void, use a Chronosphere. I believe they have enough damage to just bring him down.
So what's the big defining factor, you think, deciding between Mask of Madness and Maelstrom? Like, game 1, Ace goes Maelstrom, he's against counters. This time, Mask of Madness. What's the thinking behind it?
Well, this gives him more sustain in the lane, doesn't have to care too much about regeneration, even though he has 2 rings. It's still not enough, considering how much pressure Void Spirit's putting on him. And, I mean, it's also an item that increases your farming abilities. I believe in this type of game, you get either a Manta style once again after Power Treads, or just get a straight BKB and keep fighting with the team.
Apollo die with a sneaky Ice Path mid, forcing Queen of Pain to walk all the way back to Fountain as top lane. G being dived here. Jibbe and Misery straight on the Venge. Quick and easy pick-off, but that's kind of her job. Stand up at the front, be that vanguard, make sure that Drow Ranger is safely farming somewhere on the map. This is where 5 men start to show their tremendous force. Shoving out top, bring the Void there as well with Chrono ready. Queen of Pain's looking to answer this, and Mars might have gone a bridge too far. Deep in behind tier 1. Melojul with Nefrit, secure the kill as the Supernova comes. The Chrono is there, but Supernova's out of range. It looks like they'll be able to pick off Nefrit, no worries. Faceless Void whacking away with that big old mace. And now the Queen of Pain with the time dilation can't blink away for another couple of seconds, and Ace is actually going to get blown up by that power shot. Wind Ranger with tremendous amounts of damage. Level 3 power shot now going towards Chessie. Shackle in 4 seconds. They want this one so bad. Can they close the gap, though? With an Ether Remnant and an Astral Step, they'll surely be able to get on top of Chessie's head. And a dominating streak for the Queen of Pain, who we expected to have a pretty rough game.
Ooh, these 3 heroes together, insane amount of magical damage. Scream of Pain, Power Shot, and Resonant Pulse. Once again, they're just getting the levels. Phoenix, very high level. This is extremely good on Misery. Level 7 at 10-minute mark without buying a tome.
Oh, they find Pylar die as well. The Jakiro wandering around near Bounty Runes. And Melojul with a mega kill, 5-0 and 2 at 10 minutes. That's going to be a real fast Yule Scepter for the Queen of Pain, and they're just going in for more. There's a trusty shovel on the floor. G doesn't even want to pick it up. Malik says, right, that's for me. I'll take that. Nature's Wrath bouncing around. A Bounty Rune spawns up from the shovel that he's just grabbed.
Oh, could have left that one for Queen of Pain to refill the bottle, but there's double damage on top, so she's going to be full HP. Orchid almost done.
That's a Radiant shovel.
Yeah, he stole it.
Cheeky, cheeky.
So, Nature's Prophet going for Orchid. Pretty standard stuff. You know what to expect when you see Nature's Prophet on mid. That's why Queen of Pain is getting a Yule Scepter for herself. Get, you know, any kind of ability that can, or item that can save yourself. Great against time dilation, great against silence. Void.
They're going straight onto Ace. Gust level 1 with a magic missile is all it takes to burst through his HP, and they're bringing numbers down here for tier 1 along with the catapult wave.
That's space created. You can't type space without Ace.
Very true, Lacoste. A clever man as Misery dives away to try and escape himself, but the multi-shot from Drow, 11-4. Extremum, this early pressure coming out of the laning stage, incredibly hot, looking great. As you mentioned, the Yules and Queen of Pain's coming, so is it on Malik's Void Spirit. So no Aghanim's Rush. It looks like they want to try and hold out for as long as they can before those bigger items.
Queen of Pain is doing so much. She's involved in 8 out of 11 kills. Mars Arena.
They are going for Nefrit. TP attempt not successful. Well, Chessie should be able to finish off Orchid now.
In a lot of situations, just TP out sounds like a great plan. Not in this one.
Oh, the Orchid from Prophet's going to get sniped. G, deep behind enemy lines. Going to delay that aggressive item from Chessie, and even going to be making a play to continue moving in towards this bottom lane. Wind Ranger, Queen of Pain are coming in. They found Jibe. Melojul hasted, sprinting forward, flapping her wings, and the power shot will scout him out. The Mars doesn't get shackled to a tree. 2 stick charges and the Sonic Wave connecting. With that final scream, it is an unstoppable Queen of Pain now.
It's just a ton of damage that they have. The magical, it's also like initiation from very far away. Queen of Pain blinks in. You set up things with the shackle, power shot. Void Spirit can also jump pretty easily to the back lines. So Faceless Void, no shenanigans. He understands like there's a bunch of stuns. There's a ton of magical damage. I'm just gonna get the Mask of Madness into BKB, which I really like here.
And it's still only a 1k lead, less than that even for Extremum. And you always know up the sleeve of 5 men is that Chrono, Supernova, Nature's Wrath, Orchid, everything with the Mars Arena comboed up. They could win team fights quite simply. So at this point, do you think 5 men are saying, just chill? We've lost a couple of lives, but it's all going reasonably well for them.
Same thing happened in game number 1, where they could not play aggressive. Both of the supports were level 5, 12, 13 minutes in. So they were just farming up, waiting for Faceless Void to come online. buy a defensive item for himself against the silences. If Chronosphere is up, they can still take a fight. Jakiro has macro fire, so there's the damage that they need inside the Chrono. G trying to set up some nice wards.
Yeah, he's got the shovel now. Finding bounty runes all over the place. Well, they've got double shovel, actually. Void Spirit and Vengeful Spirit, both having the shovels as they find Jibbe. He gets off a pretty good arena of blood, and in comes the Void with the Chrono, but only onto the Vengeful Spirit. He's also trapped that Phoenix inside. Misery getting focused. The Supernova does come. The right clicks from Extremum.
Oh,
The
the
Ice
Ice
Path,
Path.
it looked good, but it wasn't quite good enough. Queen of Pain will blink away. Malik now stuck and isolated. He's going to get shredded here by 5 men in a 2-for-2 exchange. But that's 5 men busting out pretty much every one of their ultimates and only getting an even trade.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
When you have Faceless Void, you want to get bigger kills. Melojul, he's in.
Yule's up. Does have the blink ready now. And Ace has to make a retreat back across the river because Queen of Pain's blinking aggressively. This arcane rune allowing her to keep pumping damage forward. And Extremum hold on to that mid-tier 1 as 5 men bring 5 men into the mid lane.
Ah, that's why they're called 5 men, huh? Great joke, Gary.
Or, thank you, Lacoste. This Queen of Pain is a pain in the backside, but she's not top of net worth anymore.
Mine is truly a blessed life.
I don't see any item coming up on Mars. He's very poor this game. 600 gold only on him. Like, he might consider getting a Blink Dagger to set things up.
Oh, the
I'll
dive.
shut up, hype it up.
Misery is being pummeled here. Drow Ranger with a gust silences him up enough as Malik is burning to that fire and ice from Jakiro, but it's an easy tier 1 and a smoke straight off the back of it. Extremum just really pedal to the metal right now. They're not taking their foot off the gas at all. 4 heroes moving forward. They've got the Arena of Blood catching out
That's
the
a
Queen
big
of Pain, the
kill.
self-fuels. Can she blink away? That's the question. Gets to the low ground, and there's no way to chase her now. Ace is going to get stunned up, but the Dissimulate back, Malik, he's going to Astral Step away. They've got so much maneuverability here. 5 men don't have great, consistent ways of catching them without using ultimates.
This is something that Extremum needs to punish whenever there's no Chronosphere, there's no egg. Their heroes can fight all the time. You don't care too much about Wind Ranger not having ulti or, you know, Queen of Pain's Sonic Wave. Of course, it's a good bonus if you have it, but they still have enough damage even without Sonic Wave to take these fights.
Not reliant on any cooldowns. The Queen of Pain with a DD rune bottled. 1,700 gold saved. What's up next for her? What's that item that comes after Yule's? So we used to see like a lot of Aghanim Scepter Queen of Pain, but I feel like that's completely gone out of favor.
You can still get Orchid, but if you want to go a safer route, get a BKB, and then you have like 2 defensive items, you still deal enough damage. The only thing you need to care about is not being chronoed. Even if you're chronoed, you can say, swap me out if Venge is in a good spot.
And G so far has been in all the right places. I love where Avenger's standing right now, you know, able to help out mid if Void Spirit gets gone on, or help out Queen of Pain if they want to play aggressively. Bottom lane, floating between the 2 sides. As 5 men, yet again, just trying to spread the map as wide as they can, get farm in these more extreme places like top lane. Phoenix out on his own, Prophet's farming jungle. Void can sit by his tier 2 mid lane. Very patient from 5 men, knowing that the aggression from Extremum has got to stop sometime.
Extreme, once again, in the mid game, they are the one who are like putting aggressive moves, trying to make stuff happen, but sometimes it's not just the best decision making coming out from the team where they choose the wrong fights. Nefrit, if they get this kill.
Nice gust. Ice Path is there, but it looks like Ace doesn't want anything to do with this. The reactions from Extremum, they should be coming. And 5 men won't commit for the Drow Ranger. All thanks to that well-timed gust. It looks like Nefrit shifting things up a little bit himself. He's going to get himself the Yasha, not finishing off Hurricane Pike. Dragonlance, Yasha, then back into the Pike.
With Pike, you have another way of saving yourself, get yourself out of the Sprout, even though you are keeping that Quelling Blade. just in case, you know, didn't buy a magic wand. So you're gonna have that item for a very long time. Fillet found by Jakiro, extra gold on him.
Also, bottom lane, Melojul is toying with Jibe and Chessie, baiting out the Arena of Blood, forcing Chessie to TP down south, and in comes the multi-shot Drow Ranger with the Void Spirit. Jibe is done for. He tries to bulwark his way through it all, but can they chase Chessie's Prophet? It looks like they can. Stop his TP, get into the Sprout, scout him out. Anything? Nope, not quite. Gust and Ether Remnant just coming a little bit too late, while top lane G and Velior trying to battle into Misery and Pylai Die, getting the reactions from Nefrit to come up towards top lane, and Misery destroyed by that focus fire, the Javelin blink, and the swap back into the Ice Path as Pylai Die tried to give him a safe route of escape. But both supports from 5 men falling, as well as that bottom lane fight going poorly for them.
Great moves from EXTREMUM. They're getting the kills on both sides of the map, which just shows how dominant they are at the moment, and they are getting the core kills on top of that. Any big items on side of 5 men? BKB. 1,000 gold away. Nature's Prophet and Faceless Void just finished his, so like the synergy is not there. They're gonna need to wait another minute for Nature's Prophet to farm it, and then I expect a smoke coming out from 5 men, try to get a kill, maybe turn that into Roche, but it's very important that G as well, like during the Roche team fights, to have buyback. Like, you know that they're going to try to focus you down just to instantly kill you, so you can't swap. Same thing that happened in the previous game where they had Pugna. Like, Pugna is the target because of the save that he provides during the enemy's Chronosphere.
Try and catch that saving hero. And right now, G doesn't have buyback. He's trying to finish off Vlad's. As a smoke around the BKB timing and Void is coming here for 5 men. Still a few hundred away for Chessie, but they've got Supernova, Chrono, Macropire, and Arena of Blood ready. And I think 5 men, they are hunting for a big target. Any of the cores here would be a nice little grab for them. Towing their way up towards the high ground. The ramp is there, but the smoke is popped. The jump in, dodged. As Wind Ranger just swiftly blinks away. And 5 men smoke might not even get them a tier 1. Oh, okay, the Meteor Hammer from Phoenix should be able to secure that tier 1. There we go.
Let's see if they have another smoke. Nope. So you need to start a team fight. Pray for the best. Plant a ward. Try to set things up with the ward possibly when they group around it. So it's important that tier 1 tower on the mid has fallen for 5 men. So now they have the entrance to the jungle as well from the mid lane. Smoke from EXTREMUM.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But now they're playing into that double BKB you were talking about. The synchronization is a little bit off, but it does come through in the end. Void and Prophet have them ready, holding their high ground. The triangle is defended, but Pylai Die shackled to the tree. And the Lord Jakiro is found. Yules up onto the Mars as Void Spirit makes his jump forward. The Queen of Pain's there, blasting through the HP. The Chrono whiffs! Ace misses absolutely everybody. He BKBs up. He turns the battle with the Silence of the Orchid. With a swap back, Ace has been saved by G. I'm not sure what's happening anymore. The cost is all going to pot. The Chakra Shot, though, that's great. Onto Misery and Pylai Die. Velio is focusing the 2 to the left. Void is being battled with the Queen of Pain as Melojul does get that grab. But this is all over the place. Both teams are scrambling to fight in multiple places around this Radiant Triangle. And yes, Misery will get Ether Remnant and Silence, and the Drow Ranger gets her mega kill, and godlike there for Melojul's Queen of Pain as they go in deeper for more. Chessie finally trades back 1, but it's all over. A 5-man wipe as EXTREMUM head into the Roche pit now.
They have enough damage. Do they have any kind of oh, Vlad's is coming onto Vengeful Spirit. If she had it a bit earlier, I think they would just go inside a bit and try to finish it off. I mean, there's not much to say. You land the 0-man Chronosphere, you know how things are going to turn out. Mars did not use his arena. Great execution once again from EXTREMUM. They get the kill in position 5 from very far away. Their heroes are extremely good at just setting things up. Wind Ranger blinks in, uses a shackle. There's going to be follow-up from Queen of Pain. Power shot, multi-shot. That's like you don't have to get closer than 1,000 range to get a kill.
I thought they would struggle in team fights after that draft ended with no, AoE, all a single target. But they are executing beautifully, and these smokes, one after the other from EXTREMUM, finding the openings that they need. See if they've got any more. As Roshan, yet again, is open to them. 5 men do have everyone alive again, but no Chrono for a minute. Nature's Wrath is back up in a second. 20 for a supernova.
Misery needs to land a great meteor hammer if they want to win this fight.
Oh, the Mars ulti is pretty damn good, and in comes the Void with his BKB, jumping onto Nephrin. The Drow is annihilated. EXTREMUM lose their main DPS as the Queen of Pain still goes on to Pile I Die, but Melojul's dropped low and her BKB is expiring. Beyond godlike Queen of Pain, yes, but 5 men in the more dominant position now around Roshan.
Shackle will connect. There's a tree. Where's the follow-up?
Non-existent.
They don't
Jibbe's
care.
just baiting them around. Roshan goes to 5 men.
Oh,
Misery diving forward, trying to Meteor Hammer.
Seems like Ace is playing a much better Faceless Void when Chronosphere is on cooldown.
It's the pressure. Performance anxiety, you know? And with Aegis going into the hands of the... do you think that EXTREMUM have like an Aegis lineup? You know, TA, Ursa, they need Aegis to kind of win and keep dominating. Is Drow Ranger and Queen of Pain the same kind of story?
It's a lineup that relies on snowballing, so I'd say yes. Bounty Rune's coming out, and this Faceless Void, he will still have MKB and Aegis for the next fight with the Chronosphere. Like, you don't necessarily need to finish off MKB, don't get me wrong. You can just take a fight right now. Chronosphere is up, Mars has a Blink Dagger, and he's also getting closer to BKB. They're not going to have too many abilities that go through Magic Immunity. Queen of Pain, Sonic Wave, that's it.
But they do have a couple of ways to kind of force them to BKB early, right? Aghanims on Void Spirits.
That's a
done.
great setup on top.
They are catching, but Malik is very, very speedy. And his Axe is coming now, so that Resonant Pulse, silence is ready.
It's a game-changing item. Like, you get a good silence on someone like Phoenix, Faceless Void. If BKB's on cooldown, you can change the whole things around. On the Mars, when he's about to blink in. So this is gonna be tier 2 trade. Oh, 5 men, they're setting things up on the bottom.
Double damage.
They've smoked themselves as well.
Dire's top tower
Ace is ready with that Chrono. Smoke breaks, good Observer Ward from G, but the jump
Where's
is
the
still
swap?
there. Beautifully placed, the swap comes, but it's onto the... what? G just gets his carry straight out of danger. Ace kind of wandered around there a little bit, wondering, do I go chasing or do I just kill the Venge?
He tried to chase, but they needed more follow-up. Like, this is the kind of situation where you're... If you have a good vision, Nature's Prophet TPs in and just silences Vengeful Spirit so she can't swap people. But already 2 deep wards placed by EXTREMUM.
Nice BKB. That shackle shot could have been the death of Ace. But BKB and Glimmer Cape saving him up.
It's an
This
8-second
series has been
BKB.
scrappy.
So I don't think he should have used it there. You still have Aegis for the next 2.5 minutes. Queen of Pain mid,
lane.
setting things up.
Straight onto Jibbe. Treants are here, but I don't know if they'll be able to bodyguard him. Cleared up pretty quickly by the Drow and the Wind Ranger. As Queen of Pain makes her aggressive move very far forward. Shadow Strike there, level 20 talent. Giving that AoE as they do catch Velior under the tower. Ace trying to whack into the Wind Ranger. And that Shackle Shot not latching means that Chessie can come in now and battle Melojul. No Chrono means it's a difficult fight for Ace to take, and he's silenced up and the Aegis is lost. But that's fine for him. He's just buying time for the rest of his team to arrive and keep this going. Extend the fight as long as you can.
Zibe
Good
found the
swap
Drow
from G.
Ranger.
Can they catch her? Oh, they can with the Arena of Blood. You're right. Zipping straight onto Nephrin. Oh, that TP's never going to work for you, is it?
This is such a valuable buyback from Zibe. He buys back instantly TPs and finds a Drow Ranger. There are 2 wards. 1 ward actually expired. Misery is going to go down.
Yeah, it's the Queen of Pain continuing that beyond godlike streak. Ace, Chrono in 50 seconds. So no real way to catch the Queen of Pain right now and dissimulate away from that Void Spirit. Gets him enough distance here to bail away from the Radiant team. The bash, though,
First hit
immediate
bash, of
from
course.
Ace. First hit straight on top of him. And there's no escape for 5 seconds. Astral Step is still on cooldown. Malik giving across a killing spree to Chessie.
And now they can continue. They can keep fighting. There's Chronosphere up in 20 seconds. There's still tier 1 tower standing. So that's going to be some free gold for 5 men.
is under attack.
Man, Queen of Pain is having extremely good game. Level 21, 0 deaths against Faceless Void, against the fast Orchid on Nature's Prophet, even against Mars. He's the one who can easily set things up for you. Once again, same goes for game 1. They found the greatest item the Drow Ranger can find. You know, Enchanted Quiver.
Very nice. Chessie doing a 1000 range TP to get behind the Wind Ranger, but she has a Quelling Blade. Cuts through the Sprout and now has the backup of the Queen of Pain. This series has been quite interesting. The back and forth we have between these two teams, they seem pretty well matched when it comes to team fights, execution. Chessie going very deep into this dire triangle. Scouts out G, and it is a simple pick-off on the Venge. Nefrit wants to stick around, and the Chrono's there. Onto the BKB Drow, they try and Yules up the Void, but the Sonic Wave pushing Chessie back. Still a good kill for Ace, though, as he's silenced up by that Resonant Pulse, and Melojul's dropping low. The swap and the defensive maneuver from the G, buyback Venge, but it's still Chessie dominating this fight, and they've bashed up, silenced the Void Spirit, he's gone! Void against Void, and Ace is the one that comes out on top.
Yeah, that's a much better teamfight execution from 5 men. They kill the first target that they need to get. That's Vengeful Spirit, so she can't swap people out of the Chronosphere. Ace lands a good Chrono, doesn't flinch this time, doesn't pop a BKB. They still get a kill on Drow Ranger, and yeah, overall, good plan for 5 men, good usage of the smokes. Next Roche may respawn in 2 minutes. They still did not kill Queen of Pain once this game.
I don't know if Chessie will be able to do it this time. Disarm, Bloodthorn, maybe an Ice...
No mana.
Paladin has no mana. Yeah, you're right. Faceless Void's wrapping around from the back, though. BKB and what now? Melojul, blink away. Looks like he'll be fine.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Things are getting uncomfortable now for EXTREMUM, though. And we can start to really see the threat that 5 men pose with these big teamfight ultis.
Interesting item choices by 5 men. Faceless Void is the one who's getting AC, and Nature's Prophet just buying Satanic after that Bloodthorn. I'd still prefer if they like swap things around. Faceless Void gets a tankier item, Scotty, against these range heroes. There's 4 range heroes, and Scotty is like the perfect item against those.
Yeah, like the expectation for Void to get the Halberd as well, whereas Nature's Prophet is the one to take that himself. So it has been an interesting...
I have no problems with his first 3 items where he gets Mom, BKB, wants to keep fighting. It's a Drow lineup, so you need to have your item faster. Then goes for MKB, of course, against the Wind Ranger. It's only a position for Wind Ranger, but she still dishes out some serious amount of damage with this type of build. Smoke from EXTREMUM. Pilot Die is going to position himself.
Perfect smoke pop, tanks the gank. Still trying to jump in though as the shackle shot into the Ace's Void. He's been disabled up, but he time walks and he's kept himself alive. Inside this Mars arena, there's a beyond goal like Queen of Pain still ripping through the ranks of 5 men. But the Supernova and the extended duration is just there. Landing the stun onto Velior as Malik tries to escape, but G's down. They've lost 3 in a row. EXTREMUM bleeding out now, and Velior's being hounded by Misery. Can they get the Wind Ranger? No, it doesn't look like they can. But that's the Queen of Pain's first death of the game, and a lot of money going into the pockets of 5 men.
Oh, and also Roche, it's going to be a very fast spawn, 20 seconds if someone can scout things out, put 1 tree in, put a courier. Yeah, Mars is just going to use it to check when he's going to spawn. That's why I would prefer if Faceless Void gets Scotty instead of AC. You can see that he can go down. Like, they were so close to actually killing him, and Scotty would give you the tankiness.
It was an incredibly tight fight. Top lane has to be dealt with by Velior now, so it's a free tier 2 for 5 men in the mid lane, and they are considering going high ground. 2 heroes still dead.
If they use everything on a hero like Faceless Void to try to bring him down, you know there's going to be a successful egg coming out from Phoenix, and he's level 19 with the Lotus Orb.
And they've got the Prophet as that additional core hero, dealing right-click damage as they bring down the melee Rax.
Ace.
Or Ace, the shackle shot, make sure they secure the kill. The Rax has fallen, but Jive likely going to give his life here as well, as Chessie, fighting up against Velior, swapped back into the Dire base, and they find the Mars. While G, yes, he's being right-clicked down and probably does die. Chessie is the bigger kill, and a nice little ticket to success there for EXTREMUM.
Well, that should definitely not happen. I mean, Ace used Time Walk like 2 centimeters on my screen and then gets shackled, doesn't pop a BKB. But, you know, at least they got the barracks. Now with the faster Roche spawn, EXTREMUM will take it. Faceless Void, no buyback. This is their opportunity to come back into the game. One misused Time Walk and not a usage of the BKB.
Yeah, another game where we see, you know, an 8k lead go from one team to the other, then back down again. Roshan secured by EXTREMUM, so we've got Aegis Drow, Cheese, Queen of Pain. Top tier 1, ready and waiting to be claimed there by the Dire team. Valior just going to be setting up that wave for them as they can hold out, play into their vision on this Radiant Triangle, and try and close out the map as best they can.
Well, this game looked pretty easy for 5 men a minute ago. Now we're back to, like, what's going to happen in the next few minutes. It's very hard to predict. Both of these teams making a lot of mistakes.
It's following the algorithm, man. EXTREMUM wins laning stage, and then mid-game comes, they lose one team fight, then they win another, they get Roshan, then they start losing again. I think 5 men have got this.
Radiant are scanning.
Just have to keep worrying about that Chronosphere from Ace. Whichever way it goes. It's going to win or lose them the game.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Not only tier 1 top, but tier 2 as well here. Drow Ranger in a nifty little spot there.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Very, very safe. There's a never-ending threat of Nature's Prophet. Split pushing, though. Has to be dealt with.
Yep. He is level 26. So that means no TP, no cooldown on that TP. But you can be, you know, playing smart, put some anti-tinker wards, because this is where Nature's Prophet tends to TP to. Now he's going to show on the top lane. Where could they possibly be? You know, it's also a very confusing ability. G.
Oh, it's G. He walked straight through the Arena of Blood, and Wind Ranger is dealt with by Jibbe, but in comes the Ice Path and the Chrono there, and Ace focusing down with a swap back, saving the Drow Ranger and the Hurricane Pike to the low ground, make sure they get away. They do take down the Queen of Pain, though. Beautiful execution from 5 men, focusing on the key targets, and now Chessie arrives. The Prophet's here, and he doesn't want to play. He wants to slaughter his enemies, as Valior, without BKB, no blink, Wind runs back, but they've left the Drow Ranger all on her lonesome. There's a Sprout there to stop her escape.
Faceless
Malik
dropping.
will be able
Whoa,
to get
he did.
Misery's Phoenix, but without Lotus Orb, Malik's actually able to get out of the grasp of 5 men. Drow Ranger bought time by the Void Spirit, and Pilot Die having to retreat from the Wind Ranger. Chessie's now out and is in the middle of nowhere, but Void Spirit has overextended. The Shackle Shot's good, but Malik self-yules what? Astral Step maybe, but the Ice Path holds him in place, and Nefrit, Drow Ranger, Hurricane Pike out of the Sprout. Valior gets back to the high ground as well, as both teams spilling a lot of blood in this bottom lane.
Valerie is doing so much work in these team fights, landing some 6 shackles, getting a kill on Faceless Void. That's, once again, why I would prefer if he went for Scotty. Like, right now, what you're holding is a Hyperstone. That's just extra attack speed. That does not give you any tankiness. If you get shackled, you can still easily die. There is no counterplay, there's no save. The only kind of save that they have is Sunray from Phoenix.
There's still 5 men taking that fight. I just like the way they set up for that. You know, you mentioned Chessie kind of pushing bottom lane, then showing top, false sense of security for EXTREMUM, and that long smoke all the way from tier 3 mid across the map to bottom tier 2, as Chessie came in a little bit later. 5 men taking the fight on that dire side of the map. Make sure that EXTREMUM, you know, can't utilize the Aegis, the cheese to push high ground. They can't go towards Roshan for another few minutes, as they do find a catch onto G. Ghost Scepter buys him a few seconds of life, but the grave has already been dug.
Oh, double damage. Chronosphere is up in 20. They're gonna give him bottle, so no seconds are wasted. Queen of Pain getting closer to level 25, so that means AoE Scream of Pain with the Fear. AoE Fear, man. This is one of my favorite talents in the game.
And it's even more potent, like you're mentioning, Void BKB's 5 seconds, right? being able to have that fear every few seconds, adding in even more disables. And that's their AoE team fight. Scream of pain, fear.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Mid lane shoved in, thanks to that open lane of barracks. And bottom lane just being chipped away at little by Treants and Creep Wave. 5 men. Not gonna go and do anything rash. Void and Prophet are pretty far away from the rest of the squad, and the line is drawn straight into the dire triangle by EXTREMUM.
Nature's Prophet is just farming the whole map easily. Spell Prism. Who's gonna hold that one? I guess you give it to Phoenix. Faceless Void for now, just holding onto that enchanted quiver.
are scanning.
Dire scan not connecting. Or do they walk into it? Doesn't look like it turned red. Holding onto that left-hand side of the triangle might allow 5 men to get a good fight around this high ground ward area. Drow Ranger leading the charge into a Mars illusion. And I realize that's not a target that's really worth killing. G, he's spent a couple of spells, and it looks like he's also going to spend his life. Ghost Scepter's not saving you from Sunray, and look at the backstab. Malik's being hounded by Chessie, forced to get back up to high ground, and Vengeful Spirit Lacoste is dead for 45 seconds. Is this high ground attempt number 2 from 5 men?
Yeah, I would definitely say so, and I love that 5 men are not afraid of using long cooldown ulti just to get a kill on Vengeful Spirit. They understand, like, we kill Venge, our Faceless Void will jump Drow Ranger, and there's no counterplay to that. It's also very important that Nature's Prophet has a buyback. He just bought a full MKB. Imagine buying back with Nature's Prophet with 4,000 HP and coming back to a fight.
Well, Chessie just TPs straight onto tier 3. Meteor Hammer going to work. They do get the glyph going. EXTREMUM still down a Vengeful Spirit for another 5 seconds. And this lane of barracks against double catapults. And a Prophet who is whacking away at buildings pretty damn hard. Does get silenced up by the Gust, dragged back into the Remnant. But Jibe's there with a bulwark to make sure that a lot of these ranged attacks not doing too much damage to the Nature's Prophet, who holds onto his BKB for now. Shackle Shot won't latch. And 5 men, again, can just fall back and reset to this high ground while pushing with Prophet.
This is a type of situation where if Chessie just tries to run, then EXTREMUM will play aggressively. Instead, he just stands his own ground, gets Sunrayed by Phoenix, Lotus Orb, pops the Satanic, and holds that BKB. I mean, it's still a 5-second BKB, so he can pop it. Getting very close to the buyback that I mentioned. 500 gold will just TP back to safety.
Go farm some Ancients, why not? This net is closing around as 5 men, the 5 fishermen, really toying with their food. EXTREMUM haven't been able to get out of their base for a good 5 minutes.
3.4 seconds on a time walk. They gave Faceless Void Spell Prism, couldn't find a better tier 4 item for him, so, I mean, it's a decent amount of stats as well, plus 12. Imagine having time lapse on 3.4 second cooldown. Yeah, Ice Frog, I'm pointing out at you, you know.
And not as an ulti either. It's his first spell. Roshan's alive, that's a fast spawn.
Under attack.
He's back in his little house. Scouted out by both couriers.
I feel like in these third row situations, we get way more refresher shards. Maybe it's just, you know, the games that I'm playing.
I've felt that as well. I feel like I rarely see the Aghanims, but here it is. Void's in the pit. Nature's Prophet was there as well, but the contest from EXTREMUM is slowly moving forward. They're holding back with the Drow.
Already on the bottom lane. Just
look at him go.
Pushing.
So this is EXTREMUM now needing to make a choice. They have to try and kill off Roshan, but Jibe's in. Great arena, spears up the Queen of Pain, the Corona from Ace, catching the Drow Ranger. Where's the swap? G comes in from the left-hand side and saves the Drow. Nefert's out of there for now. And the Supernova's good. It forces EXTREMUM to bail away. The fight is spread, split right and left. It looks like the Wind Ranger's going to be the one they focus, but the Ice Path misses. 5 men still giving chase to her as Vengeful Spirit finds Chessie. He BKBs, Satanic popped. He's got so much right-click damage. They need
Full
the
HP.
E-Blade from the Drow Ranger to save herself, but G is done. In the pit, he will fall, and the Supernova not able to get finished off by the Queen of Pain. So Roshan belongs to 5 men, but they want more collateral damage, and the Drow Ranger will be that.
Even with, once again, Vengeful Spirit swapping out the Drow Ranger from the Chronosphere, right now 5 men are just way too strong. There's no counter to the Phoenix Egg, who has a Refresher Orb on top of that. Like, Misery shows into a fight like, what up, guys? I have 2 ultis, 2 Sun Rays, actually 4 Sun Rays, because one is during the Supernova as well.
Faster.
I feel like this net worth graph looks the same as game 1. It's up and down, the backstab. Chessie just TPs straight into the Dire base. Lotus Orb there, and now the focus fire. Chessie doesn't have BKB. He's got
There's the
Satanic to
Chrono.
turn, and the Chrono's beautiful from Ace. Oh, Drow Ranger dead for 2 minutes, and GG's called. It's over. A 2-0 victory for 5 men in the same manner. Both games come back after swing, after throw, after turnaround, and they finally take EXTREMUM down.